What if I told you that one of the biggest financial truths we've always believed is nothing but a carefully spun lie? Yes, you heard that right. Banks have been telling us for decades that if we park our money with them, it will keep growing indefinitely thanks to interest. But here's the nasty surprise. While your bank balance might increase in number, the real value of your money is nosediving every day thanks to relentless inflation. Inflation is no joke. It's like a slow leak in your financial life raft. You might not see it immediately, but over the years it can sink you. Right now, you could be watching your hard-earned cash burn away if all you do is let it sit in a savings account earning pitiful interest. Want to protect yourself and your loved ones from this massive wealth erosion? Then buckle up, because today on The Penny Plan with me, Tim A. Sane, we're going to unveil 7 powerful assets that not only shield you from losing value, but can also help you build extraordinary intergenerational wealth. Trust me, you'll want to listen to this until the very end. And don't forget to join the conversation. Drop a comment telling me which of these assets you're most excited to explore or already invested in. Let's dive right in. Number 1. God's money. Gold, silver, and platinum. These precious metals aren't just shiny trinkets. They're some of the most reliable stores of value humanity has ever known. Why? Governments can print more paper currency whenever they feel like it, but they can't print more gold. The dollar's value hinges on our collective trust in the government and economy, which can falter. Meanwhile, gold retains its allure even when economies wobble. Gold's price was just a few $100s an ounce in the 1950s. Today, it's north of $2,000 and predicted by many experts to climb toward $10,000 by 2032. That's 5 times growth if those forecasts are right. Silver and platinum often see similar upward trends. If you don't want to store physical gold bars at home, you can invest in gold ETFs like SPDR gold shares, which track gold's price. Or you can even look at mining stocks and mutual funds focused on precious metals. Holding a portion of God's money is like having financial insurance. When everything else is crashing, gold and friends tend to hold or even gain value. Number 2. Industrial commodities. Raw materials like copper, nickel, cobalt, and more. Unlike gold and silver, these metals aren't just valuable because they're scarce, but because the modern world absolutely needs them. Think about silver. It's used in electronics, solar panels, and medical devices. Copper is essential for wiring and infrastructure. Nickel and cobalt are crucial in batteries, especially for electric vehicles. The demand for cobalt alone has doubled its price in a decade, from around $20,000 per ton to about $40,000 per ton. As the push toward clean energy escalates, so does the value of these resources. For small investors, buying physical copper or cobalt might be unrealistic, but you can look at commodity ETFs, mining stocks like Rio Tinto, or commodity-focused mutual funds. If you have more experience and a higher risk appetite, you might explore futures and options on these commodities. But even a modest position can help you benefit when global trends drive their prices skyward. Number 3. Safe haven currencies. Yes, you can actually invest in currencies. Why does everyone think of Switzerland when they want a rock-solid bank account? Because the Swiss franc is considered a safe haven thanks to Switzerland's political neutrality, robust economy, and discretion. In times of crisis, like the Eurozone debt crisis or the 2008 global financial crash, investors flock to currencies they trust. The Swiss franc often appreciates just because everyone else is rushing in. The US dollar can serve this role too, but in a world of shifting alliances and rising national debts, diversifying into a basket of currencies can be smart. The British pound, Chinese yuan, or other stable currencies can also serve as buffers. You don't need to be wealthy enough for a Swiss bank account to do this. platforms like forex.com or currency-focused ETFs let you trade and hold foreign currency exposure with minimal capital. Remember though, currency trading can be volatile. It's still wise to stick to safer, more established currencies for wealth preservation rather than day trading them. Number 4. Sovereign guarantee, government securities. Have you ever noticed those words on US currency that say, "This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private"? That's basically the government saying, "We've got your back on this piece of paper." Post-1971, when the gold standard ended, the dollar became backed by the government's promise rather than gold reserves. In stable countries with strong credit ratings, like the United States, government bonds or T-bills are among the safest investments available. The interest might not make you rich overnight, but it usually beats leaving your cash in a savings account earning next to nothing, and it comes with the government's backing. You can buy US Treasuries directly from treasurydirect.gov or through a brokerage and earn a steady return while resting easier, knowing you're relying on one of the most stable entities in the global economy. Outside the US, you could consider bonds of other highly rated nations. The lesson here is, if the government defaults, the whole system is in trouble, so you're essentially betting that countries like the US won't let that happen. Number 5. Value stocks and mutual funds. If you want better returns than government bonds but don't want the roller coaster ride of high-growth tech stocks, then value stocks might be your sweet spot. Think about companies that have been around for decades, have stable cash flows, and pay consistent dividends. These value businesses often produce goods or services that the world isn't going to stop needing. For instance, industrial metal producers like Nucor. Even if the economy slows, we still need steel for construction, cars, and appliances. Value stocks also have a track record of weathering recessions better than high-flying tech companies. They may not promise explosive gains, but the combination of steady share price growth and dividends can add up significantly over time, especially if you reinvest those dividends. If analyzing each company's fundamentals sounds overwhelming, you can invest in mutual funds or ETFs that specialize in value stocks. Vanguard offers a high dividend yield index fund, for instance, which spreads your money across various dividend-paying stocks. It's an easy, time-efficient way to get exposure to a basket of solid companies. Number 6. Land and real estate. Picture buying a piece of land today, then doing absolutely nothing except waiting as people build more homes, roads, and businesses around you. Eventually, the value of that land can skyrocket. Real estate is scarce. There's only so much land to go around, and it's always in demand, whether for housing, commercial use, or agriculture. Historic data shows that housing prices, at least in stable economies, generally trend upward over time, even if you account for market crashes like we saw in 2008. The beauty of real estate is you can also earn rental income, which can cover your mortgage payments and maintenance while you wait for the property to appreciate. If you don't have a ton of capital for a big down payment, consider a multi-unit property where you live in one unit and rent out the others, or invest in a real estate investment trust, known as a REIT. A REIT pools money to buy properties like commercial buildings, apartment complexes or malls, and it often pays out regular dividends. Ventas, for example, focuses on healthcare real estate, or you can look into real estate mutual funds, which invest in multiple REITs. Either way, real estate has historically been a strong hedge against inflation. Number 7. Collectibles, vintage cars, rare art, luxury items. Many of us assume these are out of reach, reserved only for people spending millions on Picasso originals or a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR. Yes, such items can fetch stratospheric prices. Just look at the Leonardo da Vinci painting Salvator Mundi, which sold for $450 million. Why do people pay so much? rarity, history, and prestige. Unlike your everyday car that drops in value once you drive it off the lot, vintage cars and classic collectibles can appreciate over time because there are only so many of them out there. The same logic applies to rare art, first edition books, luxury handbags, limited edition watches, you name it. If you don't have millions to spend, fractional ownership platforms like Masterworks let you buy shares in high-value artworks. Or you can start small with collectibles like trading cards, comic books, or special edition action figures, which can be sold on online marketplaces like Whatnot or eBay. The key is, know your niche. Collectibles can be profitable, but they require research and expertise to avoid fakes or overpriced items. Now you might be wondering, do you really need all 7 of these asset classes in your portfolio? That depends on your goals, risk tolerance, and personal interests. However, diversification is the magic word. Spreading your money across multiple asset classes can help you ride out economic storms. Inflation is eroding the purchasing power of your cash every day, so the sooner you start exploring at least some of these assets, the better your chances of keeping your wealth intact and growing it for the future. If you've listened this far, that tells me you're serious about taking control of your financial destiny. Inflation isn't going to wait, so why should you? Start with 1 or 2 assets that resonate with you the most and expand from there. Some might prefer the tangibility of real estate, while others are intrigued by the stability of government bonds or safe haven currencies. There's no one-size-fits-all. The important part is to take action. Comment below and tell me which asset class you're most excited about. I'd love to know what resonates with you, especially if you're already investing or ready to dive into something new. Also, if you found value here, make sure to subscribe to The Penny Plan for more tips on building lasting wealth. Hit that notification bell because let's face it, if you don't, YouTube might never show you my next video. And be sure to share this with anyone who's tired of watching their bank balance lose its power to inflation. Together, we can help more people break free from the myth that your money is safest just sitting around in a savings account. I'm Tim A. Sane, and this is The Penny Plan. My goal is to help you understand how to preserve and grow your money over the long haul. Remember, it's not just about making money, it's about protecting and multiplying it. In a world of economic uncertainty, diversified investments in gold, industrial commodities, stable currencies, government bonds, value stocks, real estate, and even collectibles can form a fortress around your wealth. So go ahead, take that first step, and watch how your portfolio transforms into a rock-solid financial shield, no matter what the economy throws your way. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay curious, stay invested, and stay wealthy.